Looking to spruce up your garage floor? You've made an excellent choice with Denalt Garage Floor Epoxy. Highly resistant, it offers an even, long-lasting gloss finish in just one coat. In just 3 days, your garage floor will look like new, with added resistance to hot tire pickup. In this video, we will show you how to prepare and paint your concrete garage floor. Surface preparation is key to a successful result. If the surface isn't thoroughly cleaned, contaminants in the concrete can stop the paint from sticking properly, reducing the product's durability. Start by allowing the new concrete to dry for 30 days. Tip: test to ensure that the concrete is completely dry. Using duct tape, stick small 20-inch square pieces of plastic or aluminum foil on the floor in different areas. Check the squares every 12 hours for 3 days. If the squares are damp, it means there is still moisture in the concrete. Leave to dry and repeat the test after 3 days. Vacuum up any dirt, dust, or debris on the floor. Clean the surface with a concrete degreaser, making sure to carefully follow the manufacturer's instructions. Working in sections will make the job easier. Pour some degreaser onto a section and scrub with a nylon or stiff bristled brush to thoroughly clean the surface. Repeat for each section until your floor is completely cleaned. Rinse the surface thoroughly and drain the excess water outside your garage. Important: for the next step, it is essential to wear protective goggles and a NIOSH respirator. You must add acid to the water and not the other way around. If you pour water into the acid, it can cause an explosive chemical reaction that may lead to splashes that could burn your skin. Ensure the concrete is damp, with no excess water on the surface. Follow the manufacturer's safety guidelines and dilute the muriatic acid. Start by adding 3 parts water to a bucket or plastic watering can. Then mix in 1 part acid. Work in 10 by 10 foot sections. Pour the diluted acid mixture onto the surface and scrub each section until the solution has sufficiently penetrated the concrete. Make sure the surface remains wet throughout this step. Once you've finished scrubbing a section, rinse well before moving on to the next section. Repeat the previous steps for each section until your garage floor is fully treated. Once the job is complete, rinse the entire surface thoroughly a second time, ensuring the water is directed outside the garage to prevent any water from pooling on the floor. Rinse again. Allow the surface to dry for 24 hours. Tip: test the porosity of the concrete by pouring 30 milliliters of water onto it. If the surface soaks up the water, it's porous enough for the paint. If the water beads on the surface, the concrete is not porous enough, in which case an abrasive treatment is required. Important: it is essential to wear protective goggles and a NIOSH respirator during the abrasive treatment. Sand the surface with a concrete floor sander to make it more porous. Remove residues with a vacuum cleaner. For ultra gloss or hard coatings, the surface must be lightly sanded to ensure maximum adhesion. However, product compatibility cannot be guaranteed. Remove loose cement particles and strip as much of the existing paint as possible. Fix cracks and damaged areas with an epoxy-based repair compound. Make sure to level the product properly so the surface is as smooth as possible, as this will ease the application and lead to better results. Refer to the repair compound's instructions for more details. 1. Pour Part A into a plastic 5-gallon pail and stir slowly with a spiral paint mixer. 2. Add Part B to the pail and mix at a speed of 350 to 500 RPM, low speed, for 3 minutes. It's important to incorporate as much activator as possible into the mixture. Scrape the inside of the pail while mixing. Important: don't overmix and stick to the recommended speeds. Mixing too fast can introduce air into the mixture, causing bubbles to form in the coating as it cures. 3. Pour the mixture into the paint tray. Note: air temperature can affect shelf life. Avoid scraping the sides and bottom while transferring the coating to the tray. Only use what naturally flows out of the pail. Do not flip the pail to let the mixture drain onto the floor. This part of the mixture may not be properly activated, which could result in soft spots on the surface once the process is complete. You have followed all the steps to prepare your surface and are ready to move on. Let's paint. Tip: we recommend using a good quality nylon polyester brush or a 10 to 15 mm roller to apply the epoxy coating. Once everything is mixed and has sat long enough, pour the mixture into a paint tray. Start at the back of the garage. Take a small brush and edge around a 6 feet by 6 feet section. This will help you avoid painting your walls. Next, Dip your roller into the paint tray and begin applying the epoxy coating. Apply evenly in M and W shapes until the section is fully covered. Go over your section one last time from the back of the garage to the front to even out the surface. Make sure to keep the edges wet to avoid overlap marks. Once you've finished the section, you may sprinkle epoxy color flakes evenly onto the wet coating if desired. For a uniform surface, follow the above steps for each section of your floor, overlapping by about 6 inches. Always start at the back and work your way to the front until the entire floor has been painted. And that's all there is to it. Remember to be patient and allow the paint ample time to dry. Denalt Garage Floor Epoxy is strong enough to walk on after 24 hours and will be resistant to hot tires after 3 days. In very humid conditions, the product will take longer to dry and cure. If you have added color flakes, we recommend applying a clear epoxy top coat to help make your coating last longer. If you're using a clear epoxy kit, allow the first coat to dry for 24 hours before applying the clear top coat. Repeat the mixing and application steps above and follow the same drying times as the first epoxy coat. Now you're all set on the right way to prepare a concrete surface and how to apply Denalt Garage Floor Epoxy. Thank you for choosing Denalt.